Welcome to part 2 of your Salvage Guru workout. Yes, this is my version of what will be your harder element in this series of stretches and energy workouts. In this case, we're stretching out the inner thigh. And you can certainly see as we're going along, trying to extend out that calf and let that knee compress down in preparation for doing the warrior pose, which is a variation of yoga. Oops, I almost lost my balance. Now, I tend to do these with my eyes closed. I look over my shoulder to get as much extension as I can to exercise that turning ability. And then I close my eyes and I go ahead and stretch down lower and lower. Try to get that crotch down, crouch rather, and crotch, obviously. I usually count to about 25 and breathe to my belly, you'll notice. And going the other way, you get my balance. And trying to go, again, extend that knee out, straighten out the back, extend as high as I can, stretch. I'm trying to breathe through my belly most of the time. On this side, you'll be able to see it. You want to get your balance, your back foot crossed, your front foot in the center of the arch, looking both ways. You can see me stretching and breathing through my stomach muscles, using that upper abdominal area instead of my chest. Trying not to use my ribs. Same thing. And you can do a couple different ways on the breathing. In this case, I'm using a fairly fast pace on the breathing. It doesn't have to be that fast. Sometimes I do a slower one. You can also see my what remains of my upper abdominal hernia. That's that little bump in the middle that peeks out when my gut's supposed to spill out of that hole. Anyway, here we're going to do something that's, there's some schools of thought that you're not supposed to do this. Be very careful with this, and that's only that you're bending over and you're doing a slight pull downward, very light. But I like to go and breathe out as I go in, breathe in when I go up, and out. Now, of course, you're breathing with your belly, not your chest. That's in preparation for what we're doing next. The next one is the beginning of some push-up series. It's a easier push-up, this one here. We're just going down, putting our elbows touch all the way to the bottom mat, and then pressing up. Now, in one respect, you're able to put your weight on your feet that way and use your hips to help lift you up if you're starting off. Ideally, though, you want to go ahead and get as far forward as you can so that your push-up is basically being done mostly with your arms. But of course, that's not very hard. That's just your warm-up. Now you see me put my toes back at the edge of my pad. And then you'll see me after I'm stretched a little bit. I'm actually sticking my calves up. Now watch. Down, through, and then pull your back straight. What I'm trying to do is build up that lower back muscle by flexing my legs. Now some of these will be better than others. Some of them you just kind of whip through and do this dip. It's a motion. There you go. A nice swing through, forward, tighten it up. That's building your lower back muscle at that point. These are muscles you don't normally reach. Now, here we're going to get into, see that full, just on my balls of my feet there. There we go. There's the good ones. Right at the end, when you get warmed up good, you can do some of the harder ones. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to stretch a little bit. This is up on our toes, getting up the balls of your feet, really stretching those calves out, flexing them up, getting your hips as high as you can get them by pushing your arms up. Then I go over and I kiss my shin, and then I put my forehead, I kiss my kneecap, put my forehead to my shin. Get all stretched out, corner to corner, as much extension, hips as high as you can get them, on your fingertips, and then the fun part. Okay, you want to get out as far as you can in front of you, so you can't cheat. Now, collapse up. This is called a one finger push-up for me. I'm using my center finger to balance on each hand, and then coming up and down to your elbows. Elbows touch the mat. Okay, elbows touch the mat. So you go ahead and just make a fist and up on your fingers. So when you're coming up, you're just extending your hand out to lift you up. Okay. I like to do 10 of these, or if I'm feeling frisky, I'll get on and do 12 of them. I know, it's getting to be too many. It's kind of boring, but you also have a breathing technique to follow as you do that. You can hear me breathing. If you get to the point that you're here and can do this, the goal is always to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, and sequence it so you're breathing steady and controlled. You don't want to get to breathing hard. Now again, this is where we started from in this little series of push-ups, and now you notice I've got a lot more flex. I've got a lot more bend in my hips. I can be down there like that comfortably and breathing with my belly. It's a very easy thing to do. Now, we're bringing it in the middle, and we're going to imagine ourselves, while holding onto our heels, sticking our hips as high as we can stick them and straightening out our legs. Not to the point of locking the knees, but just right before that, and never letting go of your heels. You want your shoulders to tuck between your kneecaps and your head to go down as far as you can. As you come up, you breathe in like you're sucking the negative ions out of the earth, up through your feet, and all the way up into your waist, your Don Chen. And at the same time, you're breathing in the positive ions, but it's such a way of tricking yourself. So when you exhale, you're actually exhaling back into the ground through your hands, into your feet, as well as your feet. And extending your ability to ground deep into the ground. As you breathe, you blow into the ground. As you inhale, you suck the ions up from the ground. Now, having done that, we're going to do the fun ending on this one. The last exercise of this short series of you might say, back and gut exercises. Now you can see me pushing my thumbs in the back. Can't really see right here. I'm going down the lower back muscles before I go to make this. That's the muscles right on the back of the spine and the lower lumbar area. And I put my thumbs on them and give them some acupressure to go ahead and relieve any tension in them. And from here I'm balancing. And I do open my eyes for this exercise and then come back up. Now, I did that a little faster. You'll see we'll do it slower later. But I come down, kiss my knees, and go ahead and try to go ahead and put my head between my knees. Now the trick on this one, you'll see me make my feet adjustment a couple times and finally get it right. You don't want to have to move your feet on any of these exercises. And to do this right, you have to position your toes almost in a far apart pigeon toe position to get enough balance. My hands are in front of my waist in order to be able to keep my balance, because when you start going back too far, you'll tip over backwards. So your hands are kind of your counterbalance. Again, kiss my knees and then pull myself down. Come back up. All right, now let's see. Each time you'll notice I get to go over a little further. Now balance, balance, balance. Hopefully I keep my balance and don't fall backwards. And what I'm trying to do is, you see that little vase behind me, and that's what I'm looking at when I go backwards. Within about 6 foot behind me. And then all the way down, kiss that chin, and then pull down and relax. Nice, calm breathing into your belly. Don't use your chest. Okay, now breathe up. Again, breathe out as you go back. You can go ahead and push on your butt, push on your hips, let yourself down so you don't hurt yourself. It took a long time to get here. Don't go thinking you're going to get into this position on your first or second try. Especially when you go back there and do like I'm doing, where you do deep breathing and breathe through your stomach while you're back there. That strengthens up your stomach muscles, especially your lower groin muscles. You do not attempt this on your first shot. This is several years of working out. This is not intended to be a beginner video. It's intended to be an inspiration of what you can do as you build your way up after several years. At 62 this fall, I am thrilled and amazed, full of gratitude, and thankful enough to take the time to try to share. And this little last stun right here, you gotta be good, feeling really good, no weak spots, because you're going back and forth, depending on your lower groin muscles, to carry you. This is the absolute lower groin exercise, much different than sit-ups. Of course, coming down the other direction, you're stretching the back muscles out and relaxing into that final pose and breathing calmly, playing with moving back and forth even a little bit right there. Just go ahead and exercise that. Hands back into startup position. A couple of nice deep breaths. And you can see how I compress that into the stomach. Relax, breathe in. Hold it. And exhale, you get nice and calm again. And this is somewhat of an end of that series of push-ups, but it's not by any means the end of the workout. We go from here to the next one. Thank you very much for joining me again. Hope you enjoyed it and that you'll be able to make it to the part 3, the energy.